Okay. I'm going to read to you the second part of the Saltspraymonster Learning Space 3 and Level 22. Okay, let's go. I coloured the ends of 2 torches with a red felt tip pen. We put them in the monster's head to make glowing red eyes. Harry downloaded monster sounds from the web. He hung his laptop inside the monster. When we were finished, and it was 5 o'clock, right on time. It wasn't easy getting the raft monster down to the water. Curly was on the bridge by the boat ramp, chucking stones at seagulls. We had to get past without him seeing it. We hid the raft by the fish shop. Benji went over to Curly. Hey Curly, I just saw the Boom Bats drummer loading the drum kit into the Surfs Club. The Boom Bats were Curly's favourite band. The bass player had given Curly a Boom Bats t-shirt. Curly always bragged about it. He hardly even took that t-shirt off. They're playing there tonight. They're doing their sound check now. That was all it took. Curly was off just in time. It was almost 6 o'clock. We hid the raft monster under the willow. Stace and Harry hid inside it. I stood nervously on the boat ramp with Kylie, Carlo, Benji, and Doris. Pumpkin jogged along the road towards us. Got the console? He said to Carlo. Callie held it up. Take a last look at it. Because it'll soon be mine. Look at it because soon it'll be mine. Yeah, said Pumpkin. Let's get on with it, said Carlo. He looked nervous. Then he looked at Kylie and his console. Go on then, he said, taking off his runners. Pumpkin chuckled as he kicked off his tongs. I was the official starter. Ready, set, steady, go, I shouted. Mud oozed between their toes, making skunky sounds and letting off a horrible smell. After a few meters, Pumpkin pushed Carlo. Carlo landed face down in the mud. But by the time he was back on his feet, Pumpkin was swimming towards the marker. Go, I yelled, in the direction of the willow tree. The monster pushed through the hanging branches and floated along the channel of water towards the harbour. Inside the raft, Stacy turned on the torches. The monster's red eyes glowed in the evening light. Harry tapped the keyboard off his laptop, and groaning sounds echoed around the harbour. Pumpkin was halfway back from the marker where the water was shallow again. He stopped swimming and stood up. His mouth made a shape of a scream. It sounded like a squeal of a piglet came out. Then I saw Carlo coming back from the market, waving his arms like crazy. He was pointing at the raft. Kylie shouted, "It's floating away!" The raft was heading for the deep water. Carlo swam towards it. He grabbed the inside of the raft. He could stand up, but his feet were stuck in the mud. The more he pulled, the more the mud sucked. Then a new sound, which definitely wasn't human, floated across the water. We saw a creature splashing through the water, heading straight for Carlo. Kelly screamed. Pumpkin squealed again. Benji shouted, "Good girl!" It was Doris, bounding through the muddy water to the rescue. Carlo grabbed her collar and she helped him pull the raft monster back to shore.
Laisse tes pieds, ça.
When Carlo flopped down on the grass, Pumpkin was still staggering back through the mud. "You won," I said to Carlo. "Yes, but Mandy, next time you have a brilliant idea, count me out, please," he said.